We're back on Inside Tennessee. Appreciate you watching. With us this morning is Kelle Shultz. She's the president and CEO of Knoxville Habitat for Humanity. You have been with that organization for 30 years.
Isn't that hard to believe? I started when I was 3.
Atta girl. Well, you are deciding to leave now, but let's talk about your tenure and what stood out most to you in those 3 decades of service.
You know, it's really been so amazing to see the growth of the organization. When I started, there were 3 people. We now have 40. We've had a restore or a thrift store, which has started. We now have a critical home repair program, which we started several years ago. Almost 700 families have homes because of the program. But I think what I'm most excited about is really the impact of seeing families grow and mature and learn and realize it's not a giveaway, and this is something that is tangible that they can pass on to their kids. We have several that were in the program or started when I started that now their children are Habitat homeowners. Wow. So they see the importance of owning a home.
And for our viewers who don't know the particulars about the program, there is a lot of buy-in from the eventual owner of the home.
Exactly. It's not a giveaway at all. The only thing that our kind of word is the only thing we give away is an opportunity, because you have to apply, you have to be below a certain income level. That was started by Millard Fuller, who was our founder in 1976, and the thing is he wanted for everybody to be able to own a home, and it just wasn't equitable if you were low income. So in this instance, what he did is he said, okay, you have to hit this level. So we serve the very low income, sell it to the family for a 25-year mortgage, but there's no interest on it.
And there's sweat equity.
And there's sweat equity. So the component that the family does is comes in, does classes, works on their house, works with other folks, takes classes with other collaborative organizations and agencies in Knoxville to teach and learn for them to be a good homeowner. Because once we sell that house to them, they're a mortgagee, just like we all are if we owning your own home. And we do hold the mortgage. The affiliate holds the mortgage. So we have a little bit of leeway with that, but we really set the family up so that once they become a homeowner, they're a homeowner like everybody else is.
So Kelle, one of the things, I'm a lawyer, of course, and as the Knoxville Bar Association is
several.
Right, and they've been very active in that program. Tell our audience a little bit about how groups or individuals can get involved as volunteers with Habitat, because I know so many people with skills like that, and they really don't know the path to being able to help out, whether it be a group as big as the Bar Association or just somebody down the street that's good with a hammer.
Well, thank you. That's a great segue, because right now in the past, since the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic, folks got, a little into their little groove, and volunteerism is way down. It is way down across the board everywhere. And so we're struggling with that. So we would love to have anybody who has an interest to reach out to us. You can do it through a group like the Bar Association. What they do is they always sponsor a house about every 3 years. So all of you all get together and do different efforts to raise the money, because we have to have the money to be able to build it. And then
I've been better with a check than a hammer, by the way, over the years. So.
I'm better with my mouth talking than I am with a hammer too. So there we all have our skill sets, don't we? But as an individual, you can also come out and work, and you can bring a work. We're doing a lot of teams now. So like Susan and her office, the women that she works with could come and do a team build and just do one day or one. It's actually 4 hours of work.
And their sons and daughters.
Exactly, sons and daughters. We have women build, and we have a lot of mothers and daughters that come. Bob Stivers,
one of my dear friends, and I would have been remiss if we didn't mention him.
He was fabulous. He was an attorney, very involved with us, was the chair of the board at one point, but what he used to do passed away. But for Father's Day, the only gift he ever wanted was for his kids to come out and work on a Habitat house with him. Yeah.
When you look at housing, we've had so many conversations on this program about the housing crisis and how affordability has really just outstretched many people in our community in the last decade in particular. What's your perspective on that?
It's crazy. It's so sad. I was born here in Knoxville, and I've lived here. I've never lived anywhere else. And it breaks my heart that there are people who want to live here and want to be vested here, can't afford a home here. They can't afford. Some of them can't even afford to rent here, and they're going other places. And we're losing so much because of that. The housing, I mean, it's not just our crisis, it's really is a huge crisis, but it's so expensive to build. Land is so hard to find, and when you do find it, it's very expensive. And then when you're building on it, I use this analogy a lot, a piece of OSB, which is pressed wood that you put as the basis or the bottom layer for your roof, okay? We use 150 sheets on a roof. It used to be $9 a piece, and now it's almost 60 for that one piece of OSB. You know, our costs have more than doubled. And in what we do with building homes for families, we want them to be able to afford it. So we can't pass all that on to the family. So we subsidize it by fundraising and different things, you know, grants, you know, leveraging and doing different things. And we're blessed to be able to do that because of our size. Other affiliates, other folks aren't able to do that. You know, there's not a lot of affordable is what you can afford. But you know, the average house cost right now is over $300,000. Can't pass that on. You know, folks can't afford it.
We're going to get your questions in, Susan. We've got to take a quick break on Inside Tennessee. Back with more of our conversation right after this.